What's up? I guess this is a Facebook Live video. Say hey.
Hey.
Say hey.
Hey.
So I've never done one of these live videos before, so bear with me. With the start of the CrossFit Open kicking off tonight, wanted to just give you guys some tips for some online competitions. The main distinction being it's an online competition, so there's a few things that are unique to that as opposed to, say, doing like a weekend throwdown or something like regionals. Speaking of online competitions, if team stuff is more your thing, there's the European Championships. Registration is now live. They're doing their online qualifiers in April. It's teams of 5, 3 guys and 2 girls, so stay tuned for that. So in terms of what we're going to find out in the CrossFit Open tonight, it's going to be obviously what the workout is, and then you have a bit of an opportunity there. So you have like a window of, say, 3 to 5 days where you can do the workout once or twice. So I would try and pick a time to do the workout as early as you can, whether that's Friday morning or Friday night. That would be great, and then that'll give you as much time as possible to redo the workout if you're not happy with your score. If you want to get the best score possible, there are a few things you can do. Since it's not a, say, regional like competition venue style thing, you can set up your own equipment. So instead of having to run like 100 feet across the arena like we do at regionals, you could set up your barbell right next to your pull-up bar and get faster transition times. You could do something like set up a squat rack really high up and then go straight from a barbell thruster, put it in the squat rack, and do your pull-ups on the barbell. That's something that I do in my training all the time, and that's also very dangerous, so please don't try it. I don't actually do that. With the mental side of things, you can really give yourself an edge by writing down a game plan the night before. So Thursday night, we're going to watch the open announcement, and your brain is going to be running a mile a minute. Like, how can I, arrange my equipment? What am I going to pace? What am I going to focus on? And what you don't want to happen is you don't want to be staying up all night thinking about that. So the night before you do your workout, you want to look at the movements. Let's say there's like 2 or 3 movements. Pick like one major cue for each movement. So pick one thing to think about for each movement that's going to increase your performance on that movement. Maybe it's, keeping your elbows up in a thruster. Maybe it's keeping your knees out in a thruster. Whatever sort of is going to be most relevant to you as an athlete and your performance. I'm going to write down a couple things for each movement, and then I'm going to pick something like for the whole workout. So maybe it's like a 20-minute AMRAP, and I know that I'm going to get tired halfway through, so I'm going to write down, I want to stay, in it to win it for all 20 minutes, or something catchy like that. I definitely like wordplay. It keeps me engaged during the workout. And once you have that stuff down on paper, then you can go to bed. You can fall asleep at least a little bit more calm, knowing that you have some of your thoughts, some of your plans down, and then right the next morning, you can wake up and look at those before you go to your session. So it looks like we have a few people on here. If you guys have any questions about doing online competitions, feel free to type them down here, and I'll see if I can scroll through and answer them. From French Polynesian Tahiti, hello. Mrs. Dunn from CrossFit Swords. It feels like only yesterday I was in Ireland giving my workshop. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for sharing, Darina. Reza asks, what should I eat before? I can answer your question in person, Reza. I'm going to take in beforehand, say like an hour before, I'm going to have a bit of a carb and protein shake. I'm going to take in some Jacked RX. I'm going to get some sugars in. I'll have a big breakfast, a big meal, say like 2 or 3 hours before, and I found that that's a pretty good window for like getting some energy into my system, but not having a big like rock of food sitting in my belly. In terms of supplements, that's a whole nother game. But a lot of people like to use beta-alanine, creatine. Those things are often in pre-workout supplements. However, they're not really effective just as a pre-workout. They're most effective if you build up the supplement in your system over a period of weeks. So if you start now on some Jacked RX creatine, you'll see some definite performance improvements by the end of the CrossFit Open. There's my plug for Jack RX right there. Any other comments? Greetings from Almera. Hey Rodney, how you doing? Man, I have like everyone from all around the world commenting that have come to my workshops. That's pretty awesome.
You got a question.
I look like an Ottoman emperor, all right? Caitlin, would you advise today as a rest day? Personally, I'm taking a bit of an easier day today, so I know that I want to hit the CrossFit Open workout on Friday, but I still want to train on Thursday. So what am I going to do that I know will not interfere? So today I did some easy assault bike, sort of just some aerobic stuff. I did some sprint drills, so I did some like unilateral bounding and jumping just to sort of fire up my nervous system and work on just some fun skills. And then later I might go for a swim. So I'm still getting in some decent training today, but hopefully there's not going to be any swimming or sprinting or assault bike in the CrossFit Open. Congratulations, this is your most commented on live video yet. Well, no shit, this is my first live video. What movement do you think we will do with the 50-pound dumbbell? That's an interesting way you've written it. You've written the 50-pound dumbbell, so that could be a single dumbbell, which would be, you know, snatches or overhead squats or maybe a one-arm overhead walking lunge. Or if we have to purchase two 50-pound dumbbells, then I would be looking at something like a thruster or like a floor to overhead. In the 2011 CrossFit Regionals, we had some floor to overhead dumbbell reps in the final workout. They're not fun. They're not easy. I'm a little interested to see what, like, say if it's an overhead movement, what the overhead standard is going to be, because I know a lot of people have bad shoulder flexibility. So based on that, CrossFit may think about doing like just like a clean, like a dumbbell clean, because that's a bit maybe easier to judge. Who knows? Hello from Italy. Hi from Idaho. Hey from South Africa. You are awesome. You are also awesome, Mr. Colarosi. Hello from North Carolina. Cool. Who's your pick to win tonight, Vellner or Fikowski? Oh, it's Ellis. I mean, that's going to depend on what the workout is. If we're going solely based on games rankings, I guess you have to say that that Vellner, the podium finisher, would take the win. But if something comes out that Fikowski has been really hammering, like let's say banded handstand push-ups with a med ball pinched between his feet, he could easily take that. Hello from Italy. Hello from Texas. You are my husband's idol. He wants to be just like Lucas. Ecuador, Ireland, Wales. I've been to Wales once in my life. I was there on a rugby tour. The countryside was just beautiful.
That's a big question.
What was the question?
What's your definition of success?
What's your definition of success, Lucas? A deep life question from Brian Aguilar. I'd say success in life is like how many viewers you get on your Facebook live video. So please share this around, get everyone to check it out. But yeah, back to the question at hand. You know, tips for online competitions in particular. Often they require a video submission. In fact, always they require a video submission. So you don't want to be, and it happens every year, every gym I've been in, you don't want to be that guy that shows up and his camera cuts out halfway through his like awesome PR level performance. So charge your damn battery the night before, the morning of, leave it plugged in, whatever. I personally, because I have a lot on the line with my video submissions, I usually bring two cameras. So I'll set up, say like if I have a GoPro, I'll set that up. That'll capture like every angle almost no matter where you put it. And then hopefully I'll also have, say, my cell phone sitting on a box or whatever recording. So if one of them happens to die or the video doesn't turn out right, at least then I have a backup. Any other questions here? Czech Republic, South Africa, Denmark, Kuwait. Jeez, we've got the whole world here on Facebook Live. El Paso. How often do you redo an open workout during the open? I personally don't think I've ever redone one. That might change this year. I'm not against it. Basically, I need to make sure that I qualify for regionals if I want to go to the CrossFit Games. And on top of that, if I want to be in a good heat or seated well in regionals, I need to do well in the Open. So if I'm not doing well, I might redo. Depending on your goal, like if an athlete has an opportunity to qualify for regionals and they're sort of on that bubble, like it's going to be tough to get in the top 20, definitely, redo it. You do the workout once, you rest like 3 days, you try it again. By the end of 5 weeks, that's going to take a huge toll on your body. So the rest of the week's training is probably not going to be super intense. It's going to be, a bit of practice, bit of mobility, bit of recovery. And you're thinking like you're a, professional athlete. I don't know what a sport is that plays like multiple games per week. Baseball, do they play multiple games per week? So, right, you're a baseball player. I don't know how they train and practice, but it's not a very intense sport. What's a different sport? Hockey? How many games do they play a week?
Yeah, they play quite a bit.
So if you're a hockey player playing a crazy intense game in a particular part of the season, you're not going to go out and have like a full-on, exhibition match or scrimmage the next day. You're going to be like practicing your skills, blah, 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 and then you play your game hard again a few days later, if that makes sense. What are you hoping for the most in the Open, movement-wise? Any movement they put in there is going to be in a situation or quantity that's uncomfortable and painful, but I guess double unders, because skipping rope weighs like 1 or 2 pounds and you only have to jump like 1 or 2 inches, so that's probably the least amount of work that I could hope to do. Dane says hi. What's up, Dane? If you're getting out of focus, what do you do to get your mind back in the game? That comes back to something I talked about at the beginning of the video. So the night before, I'll write down like literally 1, maybe 2 at the most, sort of cues or like concrete things I want to do for each movement. And if I'm not doing those, then that's a problem. So I just bring my mind back to that, and hopefully that gets me through the next rep. So I'm very sort of process-based, because at the end of the day, at the end of the workout, that's what you're doing, is you're going through a process of trying to get a shitload of reps. So if you're thinking about, emotional stuff or physical discomfort, and you're not thinking about the actual accomplishment of the task, that's going to slow you down a bit. Good luck from Milwaukee. Thank you very much. What's your guess for 17.1? I've given up on guessing. I'm actually pretty good at predicting things. I actually predicted the outcome of the Super Bowl this year, but I haven't had any visions yet for 17.1. It'll probably be a sort of not too weird, like probably like 2 or 3 movements, moderate time domain, just because it's the first workout of the CrossFit Open. So it'll be, exciting, fast, kind of classic CrossFit is my guess. What's your music type when I do the Open? I don't really like listening to music, but when I have that choice, I usually listen to reggae. Good luck from South Dakota. When are you going to shave your beard? I usually shave my beard at the start of each season, so if I don't get it done this weekend, it'll be at the start of next week. So if I do another one of these live feeds, I'm going to look a little bit different. Oh man, lots of questions coming in. All right, I'm going to be on here for a few more minutes and I got to go home. Going into this year's Open, do you feel you've made the gains to make a run this year's regionals and games? How's my body held up? I actually feel a lot better right now than I did at this point last year and the year before. So going into the 2015 season, the 2016 season, I was really banged up. I hadn't been doing, so I didn't do a single kipping pull-up between the 2015 games and the 2016 Open, because I was having some shoulder issues and stuff. So this year I've been doing kipping, which is a step up, and I've been actually being able to do some pull-ups and some muscle-ups in the lead-up to the Open, so that's a huge step ahead of where I was last year. Who do you think will be in the top 3 at the CrossFit Games besides me? We're going to have to watch how regionals plays out, because every year there's going to be heartbreaks, and there's going to be athletes who you would put on the podium at the games, and they, for whatever reason, don't make it through regionals. So I don't want to put any bad juju on anybody by throwing their name out here on the live feed. Do I think pistols? I've thought pistols would be in the Open for a while, because it literally requires 0 equipment and it requires 0 space. You just need a foot of floor space. But for whatever reason they haven't come in. I think maybe because they might be hard to judge, because you can only show one side at a time. I'm not sure, but I've been thinking pistols would show up for a while. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to sign off. Good luck in the CrossFit Open to everybody out there. I'll try and post, some clips and whatnot during the weeks as I go. So if you haven't signed up yet, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Online competitions are great because it just costs a few bucks and you get access to, a whole community of people to score yourself against. You have the opportunity to, compete against people all around the world and potentially make it to the next stage of competition. So after the CrossFit Open, don't forget about the European Championships. That's qualifiers. There's going to be 3 qualifying workouts starting in April, I believe. And you get a bit of time to recover, and it's a team competition that's happening later in the year. So have fun with that. All right, guys, have a good one.